Bienvenidos. Soy la Bruja Espinada, and I'm here with your very special full moon reading. So let's get started. This full moon is in Leo, and it is the snow full moon. So there's a lot of activation, especially if you are following the Gregorian calendar. It is a month of love, and I know there's a lot of people out there that like to say, ugh, love. Well, you can love yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you gotta say, ugh, I gotta love myself, you got a whole lot of other issues you need to work through. So, I pray to Mary for these cards. I've spoken out, asking for words of messages and guidance for those that are needing it. And let us see what the universe, the divine, have for you. What messages do you have for our watchers at this time? Okay. Oh, okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice and the Hanged Man. Hanged Man came out in reverse. So first and foremost, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is usually something of, I say combatants, but the only reason why I say this is because usually this signifies that there has been, I want to say combat. I know combat's not the word I want to say. Not necessarily any fighting, but there's been a lot of back and forth, whether it's been at work, with people you collaborate with, family, other loved ones, whatever the case may be. Right now, that it just because that there's no, it's like there's a standstill. Or there's been a standstill, or nothing can move forward because of this standstill. And that's pretty much what this is saying. And below, or that what came out with it in pair, was the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is someone that is, well, they're a knight. They're someone that believes in justice and fighting for what's right. And lo and behold, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. And the Hanged Man. Of course, the Hanged Man is reversed. I really don't read reversals because usually all of these paired together will tell you the story of overall. Anywho, point being, so this Knight of Swords is coming out at this point because there might be some, what I'm feeling is that no one is taking your words into consideration because either you're new to the situation, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's in business, but you're bringing in a whole new perspective. You're bringing in a whole new perspective, and of course it came in reverse. No one's taking, you feel as though your perspective will make such a huge difference, and you're recognizing on how seniority is not what's allowing anything to move forward and grow. You need to speak up. And as whether it's the way that you're raised, where like, oh, the youth don't speak, those that have the experience are the ones that are allowed to say anything. You need to get over that. These are coming out because, in all fairness, in all just, things will move forward and be yours, whether it's finances, whether it's success, whatever it is that you are working on that this situation is going through. You need to speak up. You need to speak up and be mindful of the things that you say, but you need to start speaking up. And it's justice. You see here, it is that balancing. You have to determine what is worth being said. That's not going to say like bite your tongue, but be very mindful of the things that you're going to say. Because whether or not you just want to be like, well, she's a bee, or he's just old-fashioned, whatever the case may be, right? You have to be calculated, because just because you're biting your tongue doesn't mean that everything that comes out is that's unfiltered is what needs to be heard. Be mindful of what you're saying. You have to be tactful, because if this is like a battle, because there's a lot of swords here. It's like, well, these are the Five of Wands. It's the Five of Wands. There's a lot of different, and if you look at the wands, there's so many different types of wands there. There's a lot of different aspects, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different opinions that are coming through. What can break a wand? A sword. And in both of these, you will see the sword. Now, when it comes to justice, it's like, yes, you are making a standpoint of what needs to be said, what needs to be heard. But if you're not tactful, and this is why this came out upside down, not everything you want to get off your chest needs to get off your chest. It needs to be reprocessed and come out in a specific way. It's being mindful. Because see, everything that's coming out is coming out from here. It's coming out from the mind. It's that perspective. And if it came out upside down, like, yeah, it can come out. But what happens when it all comes out? It comes down. We live in a world of gravity. Nothing floats here unless it's in water. And there's no water anywhere across this board. So just be mindful of the things that you have to say. Speak up, but be very tactful. The way that you would want to be approached with certain situations, the way that you want to be approached with clarity. Don't just blurt it out because you're frustrated, and then nothing you've been working for will pan out. Just be mindful. Okay. I know, spirit guides, what messages do you have? Oh, let's see. Okay, all right. So we have 3 that came out. We have the Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. I didn't pick these. A Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time, and we're in the Chinese zodiac. We are in the year of the rabbit. Oh, this is pretty. The Swan Spirit. Time for a deep dive. Well, let's get these knocked out, shall we? Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. In the darkness of night, Nightingale Spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn, to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the nightingale calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message of letting the music of the nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. The darker the skies, the more it seems the dawn will never appear. But Nightingale Spirit is here to remind you that the sun will shine again. You will soon feel the love and notice the abundance that surrounds you. Sing now. Put on some music or simply sing in the empty space, for finding the light within and giving it voice will give rise to hope and help you begin to hear the call of another who, like you, was beginning to fear the light would never come. Bring the light into the darkness with love from within. Give it voice and know that daybreak will be here soon. I'm getting some voices or some messages coming through. I'll give them to you right now. For Rabbit Spirit, now is a lucky time. A sunny meadow calls, and Rabbit Spirit appears to lead you out of your dark warren and into the light so that you can participate in a fertile and beautiful experience. It may seem safe below ground, but the magic happens when you come out and take the risk of being vulnerable and co-creating something new. You're being invited into a new life that you have no experience with, but have no fear. Today is also a time to be fruitful and productive as you enjoy Rabbit Spirit's sunny and prolific energy. At this time, whatever you intend to bring to life will find fertile ground, and there are no mistakes, really, when you are co-creating with Spirit. So let new ideas spring to the surface, knowing that now is a lucky time of tremendous possibility. Vulnerability is required of you now, even if you don't feel safe. Act as if you trust that you will be okay, and soon you will see that you are okay. To create is to take risks. At this fortunate, fertile time, banish your fears and recognize the real security is in immersing yourself in the process of co-creation. It's okay to admit that you really don't know how to deal with whatever's in front of you. This is where curiosity and not knowing can be a wonderful state of mind. Be playful now, admitting you are at the beginning of something. Come on out to frolic in the sun's nurturing light, because it is time to birth something new. Oh my goodness. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Swan Spirit, last but not least. Time for a deep dive. Excuse me. With their graceful long necks, swans are able to reach into the depths. When Swan Spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what is best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness, for there is a knowledge you are not aware of and great treasures to discover. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is a deeper potential for loving connections, forgiveness, and mutual understanding. Those who dive deep into your why, or choose to dive deep into your why, asking the deeper questions of yourself. You are led by the grace of Swan Spirit. Don't talk yourself into diving deep into something just because you see the potential of things instead of what they really are now. The necessary work and patience involved may not be the best use of your energy. Have you seen the potential in someone and think that if you love and support them, they will become the person who knows you love them beyond all others? Have you stepped into an opportunity that feels too good to be true, and may not turn out the way that you hope? Now is not the time for selected, limited perception that can lead to misjudgment. Instead, it is time for going deep and being honest about what you find as you explore the depths. Have no fear, for what you find below will help you love and understand yourself and others and make better choices. Can you sense Swan Spirit calling you to dive deep and resurface to choose again? Well, hot damn, because, and mind you, this is not just self-love. This is not just partnership, or this is regards into partnership, whether or not it's with yourself or with anyone else. But you are meant to go inside. There's a lot of conflict, whether it's your inner conflict or work conflict, things that need to be said, re-envisioned, reimagined, re-looked at in a different perspective. And to be fair, don't make those bad judgment calls. You need to be fair. You have to really take that step back. Instead of looking at the tree in and of itself, take a step back to look at the forest as a whole. You can't see the forest if you're just looking at the tree. You know what I mean? So let's see. Mighty Fates, what lesson do you have for our watchers today? What lessons do you have? Ooh. So we have the universe. The universe. Let us see what the universe has. Oh, and I opened it right on the page. Look at that. This card asks you to fully trust that there is a plan for you and that you have the support of the unseen. There are forces at play much larger than you can imagine. Surrender to that which you cannot control and trust in the idea that Spirit is always orchestrating what is most needed. This card may come at a time when a cycle or trial is coming to a close. Phrase any what if questions in a positive way. What if this is going to be okay? What if this is exactly as it should be? Sometimes we become paralyzed in the practical world because we are waiting for Spirit to show us the way. However, the universe co-creates with us. We must be empowered as humans in this dense reality to show up for what we want and trust that Spirit will do the same. If you're someone who is always asking for signs, try to take a break from that. Trust yourself as well. I think I mentioned this last time. There are people that look so hard for signs and wind up missing the sign because they don't think it's a sign. And then like for every, and I've done this before too. I'm not knocking it, but even you take one step and you look for a sign. You take another step, you look for a sign. It's just like the way a baby is learning how to walk, where they take a step and then they look to see if they're doing okay. They're looking for that approval. Got to give yourself the approval. And that's kind of shown here. Even if it's not a workplace situation, whether or not it's a business situation, a relationship situation, co-creation has been coming out as a word and Spirit. So if this is something where you've taken space from Spirit, your spirituality, whatever it may be, whatever higher power that you call to, go there and put forth, the full moon is for manifestation. So there, you set any intentions for at the new moon. This is the time where you trust that it's working for you. You know what I mean? So let's see what is being attracted to you at this time. These cards are ready. We have challenge, stop, delay or detour, beneficial, revise, rethink, follow signs, guidance, test before leveling up. Beliefs come true. What were we just talking about? Your beliefs create your reality. Recognize and change emotions. Reprogram subconscious mind. Ooh, it's time to get over those blockages. In flow state. In the zone. Loving life. Focused high frequency. Skills meet challenge. Flotation therapy. Last but not least, we have negativity. Distorted view, wounds, complaining, negative self-talk, self-sabotage, outside influences. Be gracious. The universe has spoken today for this full moon. And I sincerely hope you're bringing yourself all that love and you hear and trust the love that universe has for you and is actually protecting you. If things aren't working out for you, maybe they're protecting you. I sincerely hope this message helps, and I will see you guys next time.